Good afternoon. Happy Thursday afternoon, as a matter of fact. Sorry if my voice sounds a little different right now. I've been still coughing from that cold. I started having problems with last Monday last week, while I was still in Maui. I hope I don't have a coughing fit here. I've been having problems with that, which is why I've been making videos. And I just wanted to rest because I have a tendency to rest when it's really bad, but then as soon as it starts letting up, I have a tendency to overdo it a bit, and then it prolongs my illness. And other people at work have gotten sick while I was gone, which means they didn't catch that from me. So something's just going around right now, and I hope I don't catch it. So I'm just going to go ahead and make this video. I hope I don't have a coughing fit, and I'm going to kind of have to look to see. Oh, you guys see my little blood specks from ritual last night. Normally I don't do it on this table, but my other area over here is full of like incense and tea offerings to ancestors and family honorings and things like that. All right, so every time I come back to this thing, I got to go look to see the hell was I doing, because it's not something I work on daily or near daily. A lot of starts and stops, a lot more than I like. I can see some stuff over here I'm gonna have to do, but for right now I got some nice red splotches here, and it looks like to me, if I look at where those are, we were leveling this wand out, is what I'm guessing. And so we'll probably do something slightly similar, but I'm gonna have to be real careful. As you can see, well, actually I don't know if you can see, you kind of see the arch in here. And so we're flattening some of this out because it's a little bit obnoxious isn't the right word, but it's noticeable. This is going to be hard because it's not. Those of you who watch me for a while already know this. My throat's already starting to hurt a little bit from having the talk at work today. I mean, I'm a manager, so I have to sometimes I have to talk a little more than others. So. All right, so we're leveling this out. I can see we have to level this out, and the great unknown is whether this is going to hold in the end, which I'm sure you're probably tired of hearing about, but that's not new. I'm going to whine about. I've already whined about that split, so I'm going to whine about that, and I'm going to keep whining about that for a while. I wouldn't be surprised if this wand fails here because of this stuff in the end. It'd still be a good wand, actually. You just want to do like a little, I think I already talked about that, like a faux leather or faux sinew. They have fake sinew that I've got like a roll of it that you can put on there that makes it look like it's sinew, but it's really not. And, you're not killing some baby calf somewhere. Let's put a little nice, neat little band around your wand. Anyway. Not that they would be killed for that, but all right. So let's just go ahead and get rid of these. Get rid of these red lines here, and I'm not too sure about this one quite yet. I think it might have been a holdover, or it's my notion to make this straight. So we're just going to get rid of this stuff that I know has got to go, and then we'll work it from there. I'm kind of gauging how well I've been. I hope I don't. It's not necessarily a matter of getting exhausted from this. It's just I have to cook dinner after this and stuff like that because I'm literally the healthiest adult in the household right now. Most of you don't know where that household is, but I'm the healthiest adult in the household right now, so I got to kind of deal with that too. Thank God it's Friday tomorrow. I do plan on getting some stuff done. I'm not doing any hiking or any of that horse shit this weekend. I say horse. Has it been 3 minutes? 4. I'm good. I say horse shit, but it does really help. Didn't do it as much of it in Maui as I expected. Of course, getting sick kind of put an end to that, at least for me. Not entirely. There's this place called Hosmer's Grove. You can find pictures of it on my Instagram. And Hosmer's Grove is full of invasive trees, and I was the only one that wanted to go, even though I felt like crap. So it was only like a half mile or 0.6, well, 0.4 miles with a shortcut. And so I said, you know, if I'm going to get sick and feel like ass, then I might as well just go ahead and do the whole 0.6 miles. It was actually a little bit steeper than I was expecting. Most of it was, there was a lot of, when you're just looking at the path, it's a pretty straightforward path, a dirt path, and a big deal. But as you went up there, you were climbing up logs and rocks, and the incline was pretty significant. So I'm kind of glad I was the only one that went. I already know I need to take this down some. I'm just going to get rid of these lines. I'll just peel them off, and they're not going to do any serious. I don't want to do any serious removals right there, because if I'm going to flatten this out a bit, then that area has an indent into it, and so I'm not going to take as much from that area as I normally would. Yeah, I almost came out here yesterday to work on this stuff, but instead I did that ritual because it's got to brew for 9 days, and that was pretty much all I was going to get done last night. I still got to make dinner tonight, so. Alright, there we go. That should be good enough for there. Some, not too much, because I want to make sure that there's a somewhat of a uniform width. Oh, crap. So, once I was done with my rituals last night, I have these incense coals for these discs, and I prefer these larger ones. I mean, they're more expensive, but I prefer these larger ones here because the basin is such that it's easier to put stuff on there, and it fits my my 2 incense disc holders over there quite nicely. Much better than, these are 40 millimeter, much better than a 33 millimeter. But I don't want to sit there and, because they light off fumes while they're being burnt, right? I mean, it just makes sense. And I don't want to have to stay in here and wait just because of a charcoal that I'm not going to add any more incense to, right? So let's go ahead and just flatten this out some. Oof. Got a little feisty. All right, let's do some red lead reduction before for that red lead reduction. So when my son was much younger than now, the last time we were actually here, this is probably 5 years ago, something like that. I was a bit tipsy and playing Red Dead Redemption. You know, not a bad thing. I was, minding myself, but then I came upon that scene, the I'm an American scene, where he gets drunk in that bar, and so my son happened to be standing there, and so he just literally just watched the scene with me, and so he still remembers that. So anytime I say Red Dead Reduction, I think of that scene where he's watching the bar stuff, and he'll still watch videos on that scene just to laugh about it, even though it's 4 years later or something like that. So I think it's 4. Math might be off. We were back in Maryland for 3, and we've been here for since mid-June, so it's probably close to 4 to 5. So all right, let's just go ahead and take a look. Okay, the reduction went pretty good. We got some raised up parts here now, which we were kind of expecting. And then I'm waiting for Cat. I haven't seen Cat, the neighborhood cat the stray I've been feeding. Spayed, neutered, and there are actually a lot of pigeons around this area, even smaller ones. And so the cats, for all the cats that are around here, they aren't really attacking those pigeons at all, even when they can. I've seen them go after them before, but it was only a half-assed attempt, and that's because they get fed and leave the birds alone. So, righty. So now I just kind of went on here, but we're still trying to just general reduction here, red lead reduction here, to kind of smooth some of these places out to make this more smooth. I'm not sure how thin I want to make this area, just in general. I know I have to, but I don't know how much I want to, because I don't know if I can do much about the natural curve in this. Swan, let's take a perspective shot. So we're not really going to see most of this. So this is the visual appeal is going to come from this side and this edge right here. So we'll have to take a sample of that. It's like this needs to come down a little bit to straighten it out some. This little ridge here, it needs to go. And then we're just going to go from there. Because even if it's not straight, as long as it looks straight, and they can see the little crystal on the end here, or maybe they have, I don't know, some cement middle finger or something like that, some bronze little pointy finger. I'm just pulling stuff out of my ass. So whatever they're going to put in there is what they're, whatever they're going to put in there. So now what I will think, this is going to be kind of difficult here. I may actually saw, right? And then take a clamp and go like this. And then I may actually just clamp this to the table and use a hand drill. Like one of the old manual ones, and then go down, to try to prevent splitting and chipping. Some of it's going to happen, but I is concerned. Yo. All right. Whew. Man, I'm tired. All right, let's just go ahead and get rid of this red. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty tempting just to go ahead and dive into the stuff I brought back from Maui, but I needed to. Ooh, shit, sorry about that. I needed to dry out some, make sure there aren't any bugs in it. So all the wood you get here is basically treated with anti-bug stuff, anti-termite stuff specifically, and it's a legit concern. I've talked about finding bugs in the past in some of the lawns, mostly on Oahu, but that doesn't really matter. It doesn't get cold enough in these parts, the parts where this wood was collected, to kill those things, or there wouldn't be a mosquito problem. So let's just go ahead. All right, we have Red Dead redeemed ourselves here. All right. Not bad. Not the wand we originally wanted. Let's just be quite frank and honest. What I think I'm going to do now is, there's a combination of things, right? I'm going to try to reduce a little bit of this area right here, and especially this area right here, because I feel like it's a little thicker here in the center, which makes sense because you've got knots, so less has gone on. So let's just do some initial drawing. I never understood some of those silent R, oh, not silent, but those phantom R's that people put on some of the words. Like where I grew up in Indiana, it wasn't uncommon to hear "warsh," and you aren't warshing a damn thing. Sometimes you'll hear it across the pond over in the British Isles. I'm not going to pretend to say where, because I don't know where it's more prominent, and I'm not entirely sure where some of these accents are from, and I'm sure somebody would find that both funny and somebody else might find it offensive. But anyways, idea is something I hear a lot. It's like, if you say ideally and you put an R on there, people are going to think you're making fun of some of the languages that don't have R in them. They're trying to, or L. All right, so we've got a pretty. What's my time? Oh, we've been having fun for almost 15 minutes. What do you know? All right, so we're just going to go ahead and start reducing some of this stuff here, our red lead, and we're going to focus a little bit more on the middle right now, because I expect there to be some trouble here, but not a lot. Maybe some chip out, but sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you just can't help it. And if you're gonna have chip out, then have a chip out with some personality to it, and this may do that. So now, due to when I run my thumb across it, I don't have much of a thumbnail, but when I do, it does kind of get stuck, but it gets stuck more over here. So I don't think we're gonna. I think it'll be okay for now. We're just gonna see, I guess, right? Now, what was I doing? I was checking to see if there was a lip right here where this knot is, this knot hole, because if there is, then I'll have to be very careful when I'll probably flip the chisel upside down when I go after it, and then I'll go after one side, and then I'll go after the other side individually, right? Small strokes like that, small decisive strokes to end the war in this wand. And from there, let's see, I've got some chip out. I mean, when you get these little knots in here that were from either failed or realized branches, certainly no longer there, you know, it's going to play with the grain, and you just don't know how much, right? Which could kind of make it suck when you. I was thinking about earlier today. We've got renters in our place in Maryland now, and I was thinking about how much. You know, it's Friday night. You know, I don't have anything to do tomorrow. Like we're getting some catch back here, but anyways. And I was thinking about, oh damn man, maybe I can have a fire. You know, but no, that fire pit is in Maryland. I can't have fires here. Well, I can. They just kind of. They're going to attract the wrong kind of attention, and it's probably in the lease agreement somewhere that I can't have a big fire. So yeah, that was my Friday night thing. Just grab a 6-pack of something. It's Friday night pizza, usually fresh from the freezer because shit's outrageously expensive right now. And you know, go out there for my little 6-hour thing, make offerings to the dead and whatever, enjoy my beer. But I can't have those here, so, well, beer, I can have beer here, but I can't have fire. It's Hawaii, of course there's beer here. All right, oh, we got a little red here. Woo! Got some tear out going on there. And that was literally structural tear out. It went a little aggressive with it, which sometimes you can do. I mean, it does give you an idea of what's going on with it, but I wasn't really expecting it to tear out over there. It'll just be a little depression in the wood here. It's not that big a deal. If anything else, we can just reduce the wand a little bit more on the sides, and it's going to be overlooked, especially if somebody puts decorations and stuff like that on here. So you know, I haven't asked before. Why don't you like finish the wands? Why don't you burn the runes in there and then galder them, if you will, or other symbols? You know, you tell from the rest of my stuff that this I do enjoy wand making. But I have other interests in that area, and I could put those to use too. And the truth is that people enjoy a wand more when they've made it their own. You know, if you're looking for, you know, if you're just looking for some set piece to collect or something like that, then you're going to buy some fancy pants finished ass wand that you're just going to put on a shelf and you're not going to use, and that's really not what I'm looking for, right? I don't think I've ever seen anybody else pull off the Shadownomicon wand like I did. I've never seen a picture of it, and that took a lot of work, right? And I'm not opposed to that sort of work, but you know, if I were to put, let's just say runes on here, for example, if I were just to put runes on here, and unless I'm going to just put the whole alphabet and then imbue this thing with the whole alphabet, then what personalization is that really going to have when it comes to somebody else? If it's already stylized and everything like that. And then here you go. It doesn't feel, the wand doesn't quite really feel like your own if you've not done anything to it. Even if it's just for cosplay or something like that. I don't care. I don't care why people like the wands. I don't care at all. You know, I don't. All I'm doing is carving them on here, you know, carving these wands. I'm not doing anything else to them. I mean, I can, but that's going to be an extra bill, right? I'm not going to do that for free. There's only... I mean, I would have to... You would have to already be my friend, right? And... You know, I would do that for people if they sent me one or something like that for friends that I already have. But it's not quite the case here on YouTube, right? Mostly, not always, mostly. It's gonna look, because I'm starting to notice it's getting thinner here, but it gets awfully thinner right about here, and I am kind of being a little sensitive about this neck, which I should be. There's some tear out signs going on here. We know this is a sensitive area to begin with, so you're gonna be close. Yeah, 21. All right, so I think that's where we're gonna leave this for now. And what I think I will actually do is I will probably reduce this more, and then, I mean, I'm only gonna reduce it so much more because at some point I have to tackle this. And I think I know how I want to tackle it, but I'm just not quite sure yet. And I would rather be sure. Well, more sure than I am now. Now with the sandworm, that worked out pretty well. But we've also seen, what was it, wand 2 or something like that, where that absolutely did not work out at all. So, since I can't exactly replace this wood or put things back on it without some glue and it looking kind of dumb, let's do that, because this is pretty decent for a wand this size, especially with a bulbous end, because you don't want it to be too thin, because then it looks like a, there isn't much that you can do with a wand that's too thin and it not look like a tulip that failed, right? So now that I've said it like that, that's kind of, you might actually think about it that way. I have one of those up here. Hold on, give me a second. Yep, we went over this. Still like this wand, still have it. Still don't want to waste it. Sorry. But that's kind of what's happening here. Now I can take this in, take this in, take this in, take this in until it's, you know, I could probably do that until it's about half this thin, half that size, or 3/4 maybe. But then I still have to deal with this, the rest of this, and then I have to deal with the handle. So otherwise it'll look like a tooth that failed, because this doesn't look like a shark's mouth anymore. It kind of does, but not quite. So. All right, so that's what we're gonna call it. Not bad, getting there. And I think next video, I'll probably start working on this, because I do kind of need to get it out of the way. And the hard part on this is I can't just use the chisels here, because the chisels will split this way, and I need it to go this way, which is why I started thinking about the drill bit. So I may literally, obviously this will be on the end of the table here, but I'll probably clamp this down and then drill small holes to try to help prevent something like this from splitting the whole wand. So I don't know if this one is going to make it, and if I'm being honest, I don't know that it's going to sell. Probably because of the split. You'd have to put like a little clamp on here, and I could pound one on there. I could, you know, I do have some metal skills actually. I took an 88-cent pie tin and made it a Captain America shield for my son when he was 4, and I hadn't touched any metalworking for about 4 years at that point. So I do have some skills for it. I can make clamps for things like that, but it's not like finished material sort of thing. So anyway, I think that's where we're going to leave it for now. And I guess next video is the one that's going to make or break this wand, if we're being honest. So, because I think if we were to take this, out and go with the rest of this, it's going to be too short of a one. So this next part is pretty much going to make or break it, and I'll probably, well, let me wait till the next video, because I'd rather be very focused on it, and maybe tomorrow, probably not tonight. So I got other stuff I can do that doesn't require as much focus, and because I'm gonna get more tired here as the day goes on. So there we go. Have a good night.